It's really good, in a good habit, as you guys did. Especially, yeah, especially for these bigger projects. So excellent. Rachel and I went through and looked at a number of them over the past couple of days. And I believe that we will be able to return all of them to you guys in the beginning or so of next week. So today, most of today is going to be for you to ask questions to the instructors, just questions you have about the instructions for the assignments, or if you've started mapping. If you'd like, we can make a breakout room. If you'd like some private feedback, or if you're at UNR, you can just talk to Rich. So we'll start that in a few minutes. But I did want to just go over a few topics before we get there. So we're now in the second and final project of this course. It's going to be run very similar to the last part. So I'll show you the calendar. We're going for the rest of the course. So everyone can see my screen. Okay, so today is April 5th, and you're gonna hopefully spend most of this class working on continuing your mapping for the second class project. And then Thursday is going to be the breakout room discussions, very similar to what you had a few weeks ago. And then next week, we'll have Tuesday will be a review of that first mapping project. So we won't show any of the areas that you guys have mapped, but we're going to discuss some of the common areas for improvement from those projects, so that we hope that you can then take what we discuss and make this next project even better. And then we'll be discussing two papers that are quite important to this topic in this class. So then Thursday next week, we'll discuss this paper called Analecta of Structures. So it discusses different types, the different rupture observations from the 1992 Landers earthquake. So this is just a really well done paper, discussion of observations of what earthquake ruptures look like. So it provides a perspective of what happened in the areas that many of you are mapping after the data set. What are the earthquake ruptures that occurred later that we're going to be comparing your mapping to? And so to prepare for that lecture, that class period, your assignment is to first read the paper and then prepare the similar reading summary that you had done before. So what are a few questions that you have? What's the take-home point of the paper? And a brief summary. And so in class, we'll have a discussion, which we want a lot of input and participation from you. That will be a combination of discussion with all of us, but also smaller, more focused discussions in breakout rooms. Then 1 week, no papers, and I'll give a lecture on remote sensing. So the central question is, how did we get many of these pre-earthquake data sets that you're using for the mapping? And then the following week, we'll be reading this paper validation of meter scale surface faulting offset measurements from high resolution topography data. And so there's a number of topics in this paper that also relate to this class. For example, how repeatable are measurements, or different types of geologic measurements, and what are the types of uncertainty in those measurements. And there's several friends of the course in the author list. Barrett Salisbury, David Haddad, and Olaf Zelke are alums of Ramon's lab, and then Ramon is there, and Chris Madugo is here. So this is sort of the earlier work that is related to some of the topics that we're studying in this class. So then classes finish, at least at ASU, officially on April 29th. And then there's, so the projects are going to be due, second project on May 3rd. And note that this is about a week or 5 days extension from what we originally told you. So hopefully it's good news. If you want, you can turn it in earlier, but at least for ASU students, this May 3rd date has to be a really hard deadline because we need that time to submit the final grades. So please understand that, yeah, the second project is due May 3rd. We cannot give any extensions. And then as a basically summary for our class project, we'll spend 2 days, hopefully during normal class meeting time, during the ASU exam week, having final presentations where everyone will give a fairly brief summary of some interesting part of their mapping. Are there any questions? Comments?
We realize that those dates are sort of right before UNR's finals week, but the idea is if you get this done, then you'll have finals week to deal with your other classes and your research and those sorts of things. So if anybody has a problem with the timing, get in touch with us. But this is the schedule that we're hoping to move forward with.
And so on Friday from 9 to 10, do you mean May 5th instead of May 7th? Yes,
yeah,
thank you.
Calendar thing, so just update that.
Yes, the Thursday date is incorrect. So I'll update that. So I'd like just to point out again that we're going to have office hours frequently through this semester. Rachel will have office hours 9 to 10 on Friday. I will not have any this week, but we'll both have them next week. And please, please, guys, take advantage of this opportunity. There were some errors in the mapping that probably if you had just come to talk to us for a few minutes, we could have helped you with. And overall, if you come to office hours, even just for 10 minutes, and show us your map. You don't have to have a specific question. We can probably fairly quickly give you some suggestions to ultimately improve your grade, your mapping skill, probably let you get a higher quality result in less time. So again, yeah, please take advantage of these office hours. Rachel and I just basically sitting with the computer on, waiting for you to come. I believe Rich is happy to also have office hours for UNR students.
Yeah, I mean, although I don't have a specific hour, generally Mondays and Wednesdays, I'm on campus all day. And a number of you have already come to talk to me about your first project. So please, everybody, take advantage of that. Just send me an email when you feel like you want to come over, and you know, I'll make accommodations. It's that SEM 405.
Excellent. So I was reviewing some of the questions that we got earlier. There was a question about what was the type of sense of each of the areas for the repeatability mapping assignment. So I just put that in the chat. Again, you all got this earlier in an email, but here it is again for those of you doing the repeatability. So Ridgecrest, Strike Slip, Iwaki, Fukushima, Hamadori was normal. El Mayor Kubaka with Strike Slip and normal, and then Bora Peak was normal. Okay, so that's all I wanted to talk about today. Rich or Rachel, do you have any comments?
I mean, I guess just take advantage of this time, the in-class mapping, to really look at the data that you have and see if you have any questions while we're all here, you know, and just take advantage of the time. You can count it as part of your time, sort of, to get the map done.
Yeah, so I'd be happy to take questions if they're general and you want to ask it to the whole group, that's fine. Or if you want private breakout room, then you can just chat with one of us and we'll make that happen.
Yeah, and we have 4 here in class, so I'll just turn the video and put it on mute. But if anybody has any questions overarching for everybody or whatnot, just shout it out and I can jump back in. We'll have some more information